in these live events, he's just checking to all platforms to make sure that we are streaming and everything is running smoothly. And Zach, I guess when you're ready, you can I can pass on the baton, and you can the stage is all yours. We can get started.
Sure, George, we're good to go. So let me share my screen and explore today's topics. So, okay, we just lost Adonis. Okay, I see you. So, here we are, and the first topic is something that we have already discussed, and it's something not new in the industry, and it's basically about the SEMrush study about the ChatGPT search, and they have some incredible insights in this post, and also Adonis from our team and George as well uh, wrote incredible posts about the insights. And since we have them here with us, let's discuss them. George, do you mind to start?
Yeah, sure. This study is by SEMrush, as Zach mentioned, and we have a few points that we highlighted. Zach, if you can scroll up a bit, just so I can see all
Sure.
of them, or at least the first one. Yeah, referral traffic growth. It seems that the number of domains getting traffic from ChatGPT. This study, by the way, was this was a study that focused on just ChatGPT, no other LLMs or AI search engines or anything of that sort. And so they found that one of the findings of the study, which was a highlight for me at least, one of the biggest takeaways was that the number of domains that gets traffic from ChatGPT between July and November 2024 grew from 10,000 to over 30,000 unique domains, okay? And that's daily. And this shows us that um, basically the pie gets bigger and more websites benefit from searches that happen on ChatGPT that result in like ChatGPT sending referral traffic back to these websites. Some of these websites are somewhat associated with OpenAI. It may be a website that covers topic on like AI and whatnot, which is fine. I would say that this is an overall positive trend as I see it, because it means that as long as it's as long as the game is fair and OpenAI doesn't send traffic to just its own properties, that's a great thing, and it shows us that the search pie gets bigger. The second one was that a staggering 70%, as I mentioned in the post, of the search queries were labeled as unknown, meaning that the team at SEMrush could not match them to keywords in the database. Now, to be clear, or not to be clear, but to be honest, I don't think trying to match the search queries or chat messages or prompts, however you want to call them, people use on ChatGPT, trying to match those against a keyword database would result in anything different. So that's somewhat expected, but it also shows that people use ChatGPT and other tools like ChatGPT in different ways and have different jobs that they need to do that go beyond just information seeking or anything that would like be satisfied with a simple Google search. Then there is an opportunity for SaaS companies as a very big chunk of the sessions generated based on ChatGPT's referral traffic goes to IT and software development, the IT and software development category. And the last one is regarding demographics. And even though as I mentioned in the post, the signal to noise ratio is pretty low, because it's not like a super clear. We don't get a pretty clear view, or we don't have a pretty clear view over what happens there. However, it seems that um, it, ChatGPT tends to be used by younger people. That's not a good thing or a bad thing. It always depends and boils down to who your audience is. It does something, and at the same time, uh, age group aside, you have to see whether your audience actually, like, if they are actually users of ChatGPT, right? Um, Nevertheless, it seems that younger people tend to use ChatGPT more, which again doesn't mean anything. Something to keep in mind and consider. And I will just stop here, and I will, Antonis, I guess you can go next since the other post was yours.
Yeah, okay, sure. Okay, yeah, this is this is my post as well. Yeah, I think the statistic about the 70% of the queries which were unique. I mean, this is the most interesting to me because for two reasons. The first one is that I don't believe that when it comes to, let's call it LMMO, or it can also be called as AI optimization. I don't know. I call it LMMO anyway. Uh, you can't be. I mean, you can't approach it like you did with search engines. Like you can't just target queries, because the way LLMs get information is kind of different. And I think what companies and SaaS companies specifically have to do is, which I mentioned here as well, is to go beyond the standard subtopics they would cover, which they should be doing in modern SEO anyway. And the other thing is that they should start mapping specific user needs to their information, because the combinations of prompts slash queries a user, an AI user, can input are kind of endless. And it will depend on how each user wants to match their needs with a product they need or information. So for example, what's the software about, for which, for what types of teams, functionalities, unique traits, all these should be taken into account. And another thing that I believe is important is that I see lots of people talking about, LLMO is the new SEO. I kind of disagree. I've invested many hours in researching LLMs, LLM optimization, and I still believe that it's not like the one replaces another. You have to work, you have to work for both, because in many cases the search engine index will also dictate the LLM output. So it's not like the one or the other. You have to be consistent in your content and your messaging to kind of have the desired outputs in LLMs. So yeah, I would say companies don't obsess over LLMs. You just have to incorporate this thing into your whole organic growth initiative.
So that's great. Let's move on to the next topic, and this is about this week in apps, about from app figures. This is a topic added by George, and he can share a few things about it and this report.
Can I share my screen?
Sure thing.
Let me just share my screen. And of course, I've downloaded the report. I'm not going to go through everything in here, obviously just out of respect for app figures. If you want the report, you can go and download it. But a couple of things I would like to mention is that I was not aware of how big this thing is. And these highlights, paint a somewhat clear picture. There is significant growth in the AI apps category, and specifically what I'm going to focus on, the metric I'm interested in, is the spend by consumers in 2024, which was $1.8 billion, right? I think that's before Google and Apple take their cuts. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's before. And if we go to that slide, this slide over here, which you can see again, here it's after the cut by the app marketplaces. You can see that we are talking about a 274 increase between 2023 and 2024 in consumer spending for apps that have AI capabilities. They are labeled as AI apps by App Figures. You know, not many industries grow at such a rate. I think the opportunity is tremendous, and it's not an opportunity just for established, just for new businesses that are simply going to launch an app in the App Store, but also for established businesses, because it shows for the demand that exists, and that needs to be fulfilled. Obviously, not all categories are, let me stop screen sharing. Yeah, not all categories, AI app categories, have the same level of opportunity, because some of them are already saturated, and it's pretty tough to find your way through the app stores. But an example is foundation models, core models. That's pretty tough there. But some categories are not saturated, untapped, and of course there will be new categories as well that we are not aware of at this point. Tremendous opportunity. Once again, 274 revenue increase year over year, 2023 to 2024 in consumer spending. These are crazy numbers, and yeah, there is a huge opportunity out there for companies when it comes to that space.
I believe that we don't have something to add to this. You can go on and download the report from App Figures to see the site and read it on your open pace. So let me share my screen again.
By the way, on that,
Yes.
App Figures have every Friday they have this series of posts, and they publish This Week in Apps, I think is the series title.
Yes, that's how it's called.
And yeah, I would highly recommend that you check it out every Friday if you're interested in apps and software and tech in general. They have really solid information in there.
That's great. So the next topic is about one tool that we built internally at Minuttia, and this is about a viral post generator that works on, as you already know, on ChatGPT. It's really interactive, and it's trained on. Yes.
Would you like me to try it out? Because I have something I would like
Let's
to.
do a live experiment.
Oh, sorry. I just turned off my cam. Okay, I'm back. So let's see. I mean, this is, by the way, just to give people some context. We built this. The knowledge base is, I think it's a list of 100 and something templates of posts that have gone viral on LinkedIn and Twitter, X. That's the knowledge base, and then the instructions, of course, include a set of things that were important and that dictate the behavior of this. And the way it works is I'm just going to pull up, I'm going to just copy and paste this thing, which is work in progress on something that I want to publish on LinkedIn, and let's see if it can help me. I will click let's get started to initiate the chat. And so I will just paste this, right? And I'm not sure, by the way, I haven't tested it. I'm not sure if it's going to work. Which is not, what I shared is not like a finished post or anything of that sort, right? Yeah, I don't think it's working as it should right now, because after this answer or part of the sequence, it should ask me whether I wanted to share 5 posts or not, because it usually shares 5 posts, and it just gave me one. That's this simple technique, which I guess should be part of our template, like of our knowledge base and the template list we use. And let's see what it generated, just for the sake, even though again that's not what it should generate. But this simple website technique increased visits to our Let's Talk page. It's called the 30-30 pop-up strategy. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, it basically, because I haven't mentioned anything about the 30-30 strategy in here. I mean, the only thing I mentioned was that this pop-up is being displayed after you scroll down, scroll through 30% of the page, and before you scroll the 30% remaining on that page. And so it took that and it turned it into a sort of an invented concept, the 30-30 pop-up strategy. How it works: visitors land on our blog and engage with the content. When they scroll past 30% of the page, a pop-up appears. The pop-up disappears before they reach the last 30% of the page. As a result, we saw a huge increase in traffic to our Let's Talk page. It's now our second biggest driver of visits. It turns out pop-ups still work, and blogs, they're far from dead. Have you experimented with pop-ups on your website? Let me know what worked for you. That's interesting. I mean, again, I'm pretty sure that this is part of our template library that we used to sort of as the knowledge base for this GPT, but it's not. I mean, the post obviously needs some refinement, right? But there are some good elements, like this, for example, could serve really nicely if you want to like put a label on this tactic. It's not really a strategy. It's not even a tactic. It's like just an experiment, right? So there are things here you can take, but in this case, the GPT didn't quite work as expected. But in general, that aside, of course, I will have to have a chat with the GPT after we finish with this live. But in general, I think that what you need to keep from this is that you have something that's raw, which is in our case was the piece I was working on, and you feed it to the GPT, but you need to have a knowledge base and a very specific set of instructions that dictate the behavior, which obviously were not followed in this example. But you need to have a very nice cohesive knowledge base with everything you can fit it, so that you can then get back like a good output, right? And yeah, we will keep experimenting with these things and see how it goes, and we will update people on the things we learn.
To be honest, I've tried the tool right after we did let's say the MVP, and it really gave me 5 templated posts, let's say.
Yeah, it should. That's what it should do. I don't know why it didn't do in the live. Like it's crazy.
It's okay, and I mean, we just coined the term 30-30 pop-up strategy. That's something new.
That's true. I mean, that's also true. Yeah.
So let's move on. It seems that the next topic comes again from us and our team. We just published the comparison keywords data study, and it's not something that we didn't expect to see Reddit annihilated the results, because it's the first when it comes to comparison keywords across the web. But George could share, and also Antonis, a few interesting insights about this data study.
I just want to say that Reddit just complained about their traffic, and they said that there's some volatility on Google search, and they kind of complained about traffic, and I was like, if Reddit complains about volatile search traffic, come on.
It's okay. I mean, it's time for them to feel some of the pain that the rest of the web feels. Anyway, sorry for backtracking a bit. Zach, can I please share? Because now apparently,
Sure.
now it worked, and I want to share
Sure, sure.
the output with people. Sorry for backtracking. And then I guess I will just mute myself, and I will let Antonis comment on the comparison data study results, because I want everyone to have, equal voice time. And so look, as you were discussing the next item in the agenda, like, let's get started. Please share the content piece you'd like me to work on. I just copied and pasted the exact same piece. I received the content. I will provide up to 5 versions of the post. Would you like me to start working on your post now? Please answer with a yes or no. Yes. Here are the 5 pieces of content. So here's how it's supposed to work, right? It gives us 5 posts. The title: this simple technique template, suggested content format, X thread or LinkedIn carousel, based on where we took that from and where we actually based on where the viral post we included in the template was published on, and then it gives you the post. So for example, the first one is the simple website optimization technique, increase visits to our Let's Talk page dramatically. Could be a bit better, could be a bit punchier. It's called the timed pop-up. Again, another invented concept, Zach. Here's how it works, yada yada yada. Then the other one, counterintuitive advice template. Stop assuming that pop-ups are annoying and ineffective. Instead, use smart pop-ups to guide user behavior. Okay, and then it goes on to explain how. Lessons learned. If you're an experienced marketeer, this is a useful reminder. If you're a rookie, this is a foundational lesson. Pop-ups still work. That's why the best way to optimize your blog is yada yada yada. The single most powerful blog optimization strategy, a well-timed pop-up. Over the past few months, we've tested different ways to drive traffic to our Let's Talk page. Nothing worked as well as showing a pop-up after 30% scroll, making it disappear before the final 30%, ensuring it's highly relevant to blog content. This strategy became our second driver of visits. Turns out blogs aren't dead and pop-ups still convert. I don't know what you guys think, but I think this is actually a decent one. Number 4, the single most powerful one. I like it. And the last one, simple observation template. A simple observation about website visitors. The users who engage with content but don't take action will be much better converted by timely nudges rather than passive CTAs. That's interesting. That's why a pop-up shown at the right moment became our second driver to the Let's Talk page. Pop-ups still work, blogs aren't dead, timing is everything. That one is also decent. So that's the output as it should be.
George, you can continue sharing your screen since the topic is about the comparison study, and I mean you had it already opened.
I mean, Antonis can go on because I want us all to have voice time.
Sure. Just one thing before we moving forward. Maria Kovalenko, our friend, also hi Maria, is asking about the mechanism and how it works. This whole thing with ChatGPT. No need to go in depth, but just a few things about how we've built it, how it works, and
yeah, sure. I'm okay giving people access under the hood. It's not as if it's like a paid product or anything. So
sure.
We have IP to protect. Let me just. I will actually share what it looks like on the back end, right? If OpenAI allows me, because it's taking some time. But I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but the last 2 posts, I think the 4th one was the best. The last 2 posts were actually decent, right? Anyway, let me just share my screen once again to share this. So here it is, Maria. I'm not going to go through all the instructions, by the way, because this is where the magic happens. But here's how it looks like. So you have the create sort of tab, and you also have the configure tab. you will mostly spend time here in the configure tab. And so you give it a name, you give it a description, and then you start drafting your instructions. By the way, a tip here is to use AI to draft the instructions for the AI, right? It's a bit meta, but it works. Keep in mind that the conversation starters are important, right? They can form or they can impact the behavior of the GPT. So it has to, they have to be, the conversation starter has to be aligned with what you have in here in the set of instructions. And in terms of the instructions, because I know like, and we don't have much time really to dive deep into that, but you have to think about things in a logical way. You have to describe the task. You have to give it a set of rules and principles. You have to define the role. You have to define the initiation process, the relationship to the or how to use the knowledge base, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now the knowledge base here was really, you know, half of the job. I mean, it took me a lot of time to get these templates and put them in a document and then explain what the document is. But yeah, I mean, after you've done all that, you can just go to use the create tab and really iterate based on the outputs, make adjustments, and so on. So that's pretty much it. I will stop screen sharing. And Antonis, you can go on. You can share your screen if you want to discuss the comparison keywords study.
Yeah, I don't have to share anything. Zach, you can share and I can comment if that's okay.
Sure.
I mean, if it's like that, I can share my screen again.
Sure.
You know?
Here we are, Antonis.
Okay.
Okay, Zach, it's fine. You can keep it like that. So highlights, or maybe before highlights, what we did. What we did is that we did the same for alternative keywords, and we have the software keyword study coming up next. And what we did basically is that we took a set of keywords, in this case 500 keywords, and 4,523 search results based on these keywords. And these are comparison keywords, which is, for SaaS companies, as obvious Monday, right? Comparing two different solutions. Some of the key highlights: Reddit is the most visible website. I don't know if that will change based on what Antonis shared a few minutes ago, but based on our study, it was the most visible website, which speaks to the fact, or to the change, is an indication of the change that happens, and the fact that you have to understand. Companies need to understand that Reddit is part of the customer journey, and try to find ways to utilize it. Quora is also somewhere in the top, number 5 from what I see here. 65.2% of the keywords do not display an AI overview feature. I saw a post on LinkedIn the other day, and someone was discussing AI overviews and how it's a big risk and whatnot. I mean, come on. AI overviews, back when they were announced in the Google I/O event as they were introduced as search generative experience, it wasn't obviously it was all of us thought that it would be a very big thing. With the changes we've seen in the last, I don't know, couple of years, I wouldn't say that it's the biggest change. It's a featured snippet, and it's even better than a featured snippet, really, because it has links from different companies and websites, so traffic is more equally distributed. since the result is corroborated by different sources on the web. And yeah, most of the keywords, or a big chunk of the keywords, more than half of the keywords do not display an AI overview feature. 60%, close to 60% do not display discussions and forums feature. 96.8% have a related questions, also known as people also ask section in the search results. 10 of the top 20 most visible websites are software review websites like G2, Capterra, and whatnot. 5 out of the top 20 most visible websites come from SaaS companies. Zapier, ClickUp, UserPilot. These are companies that have, invested heavily in like these strategies, and it was a conscious effort, right? It wasn't as if it just happened. And now they enjoy more visibility on search, right? Which is more eyeballs on your brand, even if it's for like unrelated terms, right? And then average search volume, keyword difficulty, and CPC not so important. I guess we can stop here. But for those who want to read the whole study, it's published on our website. You can visit minuttia.com and read the study.
Antonis, any thoughts about the study?
Yeah, I have
site?
something which I also shared in my LinkedIn. I did a post. This study, in my opinion, is a very interesting one. Not because we did it, but because it made me think of the why. Because we know that Reddit is has huge visibility, but why? So it seems that I did some experiments and some quick research, and it seems that the SERPs where Reddit kind of ranks super high, and I mean like position 1 or 2, are SERPs for queries which are heavily opinionated. And we can basically do a test now. Just Google like, is X movie a good one, or is X a good movie? And I bet that Reddit will pop up first or second position. Like I would bet money on that, because alternatives and versus queries are opinionated. There's not the best tool, or it all comes down to user preference. So these are heavily opinionated, and I believe this is a reason why Reddit ranks so high, because Reddit ranks high for opinionated queries. And by the way, let's do a test now. Like you can input like, is Titanic a good movie? I don't know, and you will see. I would bet money on that.
Okay, it seems that Reddit is the first result.
Yeah, of course, because it's a preference. You can also test it with other, like, is X good, or does X taste well, or best, which is the best X. You will see
so
that
it's like that you've identified the pattern here.
I think there's a pattern. I say we will need more research on that, but I believe for opinionated queries, Reddit will rank super high, because this is what Reddit's about, like right opinions of people, I guess.
That's a good point. That's a
really good point. And let's move to the last topic, which is the events. It seems that George is actually quite active in the next months. And we'll
not as active as I would
already.
like to.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, we already have an event. I believe that comes first, right? And then it's the Sastanak.
Yeah. This one is next month, on March 25th, and then we have the Sastanak on in May.
Yes, it seems it is May in Croatia. So the first one is SERPConf. This will happen in Sofia, and I believe that it will be a great conference to be in, especially for people who live in the nearby countries, let's say in Balkans, for example, Greece, Bulgaria, and all the countries near there. And the lineup is great. Also, the team from SERPACT is doing a great job organizing the whole thing, so it will be amazing. And also, if you want to buy a ticket, you have a coupon, a discount code using George 20 or Minuttia 15. You can try it and go grab a ticket with a discount.
Yeah,
And
by the way, I've never been to
Mhm.
Croatia, but I've been to Sofia, and Sofia is very beautiful. So if anyone who's listening is, I don't know, in a like city or country that's nearby, jump on a car or a plane, and yeah, it will be fun.
So, George, any other thing that you want to say
Nothing. I
before
think
we wrap
the
things up?
agenda was interesting, and the
Great,
docket was full,
great,
and we had a good conversation. Thank you very
great.
much.
So, thank you all. Thank you, George. Thank you, Antonis. And you can watch the recordings live either on YouTube or LinkedIn in your own pace. So, see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Okay. Καλά πήγε αυτό.